Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Captain's Table. I am your host, Captain B-Nard, and topic of discussion today is going to be the State of the MCUnion Address 2022, where we're going to talk about the year that Marvel has had so far and the projection toward the future. And here to discuss that with me, returning to the Captain's Table, making his 15th appearance, we have the Res Dog himself, Jonny Reps.
Klaxon wie Blanche Blanard.
Oh my god.
Sorry. Just had to clear my throat. Yep.
Yeah,
I
there.
can't believe you actually remember it's exactly 15. I can't believe you actually remember or even.
Well, I have to look it up
actually.
before each one I do, just to make sure I get it right. I don't actually remember. I just look at the number that I said on the
I
previous one
can't
that
believe
you
you
were
actually
on.
look it up.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
have to
believe you
get my.
actually look it up.
I do my homework, and I need to get my numbers right because I care about the truth and I care about the
Oh, I
quality
gotta
of.
get some Scott Steiner for this soundboard.
As
Just reminded me,
sure
the
as
numbers,
is as
the
is
numbers
evident
don't
by
lie.
the incredible thumbnail that I've provided to my loyal fans, I do care about quality. So anyway, speaking of quality, making her 10th appearance here, we have the future famous Twitch streamer herself, Feltzwild.
Oh my god.
Sam,
Really?
I am trying to promote you. That's all. As
It's
per
the
as
only
per
way
usual.
Sam's getting a promotion.
Gee, thanks. Why did
Well,
I agree to do this?
because you're my pal and you like Marvel. So, anywho, yeah, so I want to talk about everything that we've got content wise from Marvel. And as a forewarning, yes, I will say that not all of us have seen all of the content that Marvel has put out in this year 2022 so far. And that is going to be a critical hook of this discussion is why we haven't taken the time to watch everything that Marvel has to offer, and there is a clue hidden on the thumbnail as to part of the reason why.
Oh
But
my
we're
god.
we're gonna we're gonna get there. So, yeah, that's and
Get
then we're
ready for the most uninformed discussion ever.
well, I wouldn't say that. I'm sure there have been more uninformed discussions, probably on Alex Jones's podcast, but it's all good. So anyway,
Alex Jones, that's someone else I gotta get on this soundboard.
there should definitely be a million different clips of him screaming. So and also the freaking frogs. So gotta have that on there. And eating your ass. That's a staple too. Anyway, all right. So off topic as usual, but that's okay. So
Wait, wasn't that a Hulk Hogan quote? I will eat your ass,
no,
brother.
that was Alex Jones. I will eat your ass like corn on the cob.
Oh, and Hulk Hogan also said that.
He didn't add the corn on the cob though. Hulk Hogan.
That's it.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, back to Marvel. We're ready to go. Sam, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to go down the timeline of what we've got so far this year, and then yeah, we'll do it that way. So we're going to go back to the beginning of the year. So far, there have been six Marvel projects live action. There might have been an animated one. Actually, no, they delayed What If season two, I think, till the beginning of next year. So I don't think that can. There might have been something else. I don't know. But anyway, so there have been three live action TV series and three movies. Although one of them is kind of, sort of, but not really in the MCU, which we'll get to. But yeah, the first thing we got this year, going back to March, I think it was Moon Knight. So we got the Moon Knight series, and I did watch it. I don't know. Did either of you guys watch it?
No.
Sam, Johnny, did you
No,
watch it?
I've seen clips of the CGI though.
Okay. So I don't want to spend too much time on each individual topic, but since I did watch it, I'll say I actually thought it was a pretty good series. And again, the reason I wanted to do it this way is because I wanted to talk about the Marvel projects, but I didn't want to devote a whole show to any one specific one of them. So yeah, this seemed like the best way to go. But anyway, back to Moon Knight. So I watched it. I thought it was actually pretty good. Um, the story was good from start to finish. The action was pretty good. There wasn't a lot of action, which I think is going to be like a reoccurring theme in a lot of these Marvel projects this year. Is aside from the movies, is that in the TV shows for whatever reason there hasn't been a ton of action. Um, but the I'd say the suit was actually pretty good. I thought, but oh, and another huge highlight of the show for me actually was Oscar Isaac's acting in general. So, um, I don't know how big of a fan of Oscar Isaac you guys are, but
I
um,
am very.
there you go.
Yeah,
So I
Sam, you're a fake fan.
oh shut up. I could she liked him in Star Wars, and I thought
And other stuff.
yeah. So and I thought his performance in Star Wars was one of the small highlights of an otherwise shitty trilogy. But anyway, I did think he actually I give him like I'm not like a huge Oscar Isaac fan by any stretch. Like I have had like lukewarm feelings about him historically, but after watching his acting in Moon Knight, I have to say I gained a lot of respect for him, and because he acted the shit out of that role, he really did. So I
He
think it's
turned chicken shit into chicken salad.
pretty much yeah, as far as his acting goes. So yeah, his acting was really great in that. So and I usually am hesitant to praise actors that to that degree, but I really do think he deserves it because his acting was just the way he played the dichotomy of the characters with the dissociative identity disorder. He did an excellent job. Can't say enough good things about it. Um, Probably the biggest negative I would say about the show though was that the and I don't know if
The
any of you
shitty
guys
CGI.
well I wouldn't say that's the biggest negative because I thought the CGI was passable, especially when you compare it to a couple other things we're going to look at later. Um, the biggest negative for me was the way the story was told. So it was told in a purposely confusing manner, but to kind of like an obnoxious degree. So like I get what they were trying to do. They wanted to tell the story like as if you were in the head of Mark Spector slash Moon Knight, and it's because he has dissociative identity disorder. They wanted to like put you in his head to the point where you didn't know what was real and what was fake and like what was actually happening and what wasn't happening, and they left things like purposely confusing all the way up until the end pretty much, and I kind of found that annoying. Well, I can appreciate that approach as a fan, I can appreciate that approach, but in another way, as a viewer, I'm just like, this is kind of annoying. Like I like not knowing what's real and what's not from week to week. And I think that if I would have binged the show, I probably would have liked it a lot more than watching it week to week, which is what I actually did. So I still thought it was good. It didn't ruin the show for me by any stretch, but like it was definitely probably the biggest negative for me. But yeah, the CGI at certain points wasn't great. Although the comedy was pretty good, like and that kind of feeds back to the acting, like the way the comedy was with like him and himself essentially playing the two different personalities was funny. And actually looking back at some of the other stuff, like looking at Moon Knight in retrospect compared to some of the other stuff they've put out this year so far, I actually like Moon Knight more now than I did when it came out, just because we've gotten some kind of shitty shit, which
You know
we're
what
gonna
I think?
tell to. Please
I
tell
think we
me.
should
Go
get
ahead.
Sam's opinion.
I don't have an opinion.
So
Oh
Sam,
yeah, what?
you didn't, but let me ask you, Sam, you didn't watch it. Was there any specific reason why you didn't
No.
watch the show?
Yeah, because Oscar Isaac is too close to a white guy for her, so she can't watch it.
What? That's
Oscar Isaacs is British, so go fuck yourself.
yeah.
Also, okay.
So
Yeah,
Johnny, would you care to tell me why you didn't watch it, and or what you've heard about it? Any positive or negative?
I had a client who was literally 19, and she told me that it was like so funny, and I gotta watch it, and I was like, I don't know, I don't know. There's no video, I guess, on this, but I just threw my hands up in the air, and I was like, okay.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. It wasn't. It definitely wasn't like Rawful funny. That's for sure. It was.
I think Moon Knight probably, apparently, I guess from my limited experience, seems like does it appeal to Gen Z? Maybe because it's trying to be more goofy and funny.
Well, I don't know about that. I think if it does appeal to like the younger people, I think it would maybe be just because it has like mental health centered theme to it. So maybe that's why it appeals to them
Yeah,
more.
but
I don't know.
so did One Flew Over a Cuckoo's Nest.
Sure, but I don't know. Maybe that it combines that with superheroes, so maybe that's why. I don't know.
Well, speaking of superheroes,
Yeah. Yes, he is. He is. He is a superhero. I can't deny that.
his name is literally superhuman.
Yeah, so you can't. Yeah, you can't deny that. But yeah, I mean, so all in all, yeah. I mean, I don't really have anything more to say about it, and since you guys haven't seen it, probably don't have too much more to say about it either. So, yeah. So we're gonna just move on
But
from.
is the CGI terrible? Leave a comment below.
It's. I don't really think it's that bad, honestly. Like it's not spectacular, but I don't.
If you had a video editor, this is where the pictures of the shots of like Moon Knight CGI would be put into the video.
It would be, but I'm way too low budget for that. So, but anyway, so yeah, we'll move on from Moon Knight. So I definitely think it was a pretty, like I said, looking back on it, like at the time I think I still liked it, but I was a little more critical of it at the time that it came out. But I think as of now, looking back on it, I definitely look back on it more fondly, given some of the other stuff that they've come out with this
Is
year.
there a shirtless scene? Is there an Oscar Isaac shirtless scene, Sam?
I
'Cause I know you looked it up if there's one.
Well, I didn't look it up, Johnny.
I
Well, is there one?
I
think
don't
so.
know.
I don't think
Alright.
so. But anyway, moving on. The next thing that we got out of Marvel this year, and this is probably the low light, I think, was what was it? It was Morbius.
Or?
Morbius.
Oh,
You remember
no, dude,
Morbius?
Morbius isn't even MCU.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That this one kind of doesn't count because
I didn't
it's
even know
like
this until I saw it come up on Amazon Prime the other day, and I'm like, why is Morbius on Amazon Prime? And I looked it up, and it's not even in the MCU. It's in like the stupid like Venom
Ven-
universe where they only have like the Z-list characters.
yes.
Okay, but
So
question about that. If it's not MCU, why is Vulture in it?
Who
yes.
the hell's Vulture?
Michael Keaton?
Fucking yeah, Michael
Oh,
Keaton.
the dude from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the Vulture.
No,
Oh.
fucking
You
no, from Spider-Man: Homecoming, genius.
do you know? Does anybody know who I'm talking about?
No, not at all.
The
Not even a
Vulture
little
from
bit. No, not even a
Okay.
little bit. Andy Samberg stopped being funny 10 years ago, so nobody cares. But anyway,
He's
so, um, but anyway, so Morbius. I don't think any of us actually bothered to see Morbius. I know I didn't.
I did the other day.
You did watch
did he say,
Morbius.
did he say it's Morbin
Yeah.
time? Did he
Oh,
actually say
okay.
that in the movie, or is that just a meme?
What, Morbing Time?
Yeah.
It's just a meme.
He didn't say it in the movie. I thought
No.
someone just. Okay.
So I do want to, since you actually did you watch it, Johnny, or no? No, you didn't watch it. So,
I don't watch any of those shitty like. No.
you know, yeah. So Morbius, like you mentioned, is weird because it's like MCU adjacent with like Venom, which is kind of weird. Um, but so having not watched it, I just want to make my comments as to why I didn't watch it, and then I'll give it to you, Sam. But
I didn't watch it because I heard it sucked.
yeah, so originally, here's the thing. I was actually really looking forward to watching Morbius when I heard about it, and then like in the months leading up to its release, I was like, you know what? The first Venom was actually pretty good. So and they're kind of trying to go that direction with another character, so I was like, all right, this could probably be pretty good. Um, and then the reviews came out, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like they just tore this movie a new one with these fucking reviews. So, but normally I'm not the type of person to let the reviews sour me on a movie. If I want to see it, I'm going to see it for myself. So I thought I actually had made plans to go see it, and I was going to see it with a few friends, and then something happened that day. I don't even remember what it was, where like they just didn't want to see it. I think they let the reviews get to them too much, and they didn't want to see it. And I was like, well, I'm not going to go sit in a theater by myself and watch this damn thing. Although, looking back on it, that might kind of be an interesting experience to have if you're just like literally the only person in the theater watching a movie and no one
Was
else
there
is
nobody
there.
else there? Oh, that
No,
happened to me and Julie at one time. It was just the two of us.
really? What movie was it?
It was the Avengers,
Oh, which one? The
the first
first
one.
one? Oh, was it like week like 30
No,
after
so
it
there was
came
this
out?
there was this tiny uh theater in the Poconos somewhere. I'm not even sure if it exists anymore. And it was we went at the very end of the day.
Was it like
And
that
we
1950s theme theater with
I
the
don't
like
even
the
know, but we went
car
the
and the
very tiny ass thing, and we went the end of the day, and they were like everybody was there was like confused that there were actually people there to see a movie.
That's funny.
And they're like, oh yeah, I think we have the film reel here somewhere.
That's funny. So, but yeah, so that's why I didn't watch it because like everybody else that I was gonna go with kind of bailed on me, but I was gonna watch it, and then I made my mind up that I was like, okay, when it comes out and I can watch it for free, then I'm gonna watch it because I still want to see, even though the reviews are god awful.
Why?
just because I wanted to see for myself, and that just never happened because I don't. Is it behind a paywall on Amazon Prime or
No,
I
it's
don't
free.
know.
it is
Okay, I
free?
don't.
Okay,
Okay, it's free. So Sam, I gotta ask you. You're literally the only one who saw it. Well,
Yeah.
first I want to just bring up a statement that's true. Morbius is the lowest grossing Marvel movie ever at only $163 million box office.
ouch. So I
And
do want to.
you know what?
I also want to bring up that means Jared Leto holds the distinction for worst Marvel movie and worst DC movie, which was a big meme
Yeah.
at the time
So
too.
good call.
With
Also, you know what they
Suicide
say.
Squad. What's that?
Also, you know what they say.
What did,
Numbers don't lie.
And
and they
Morbius has the lowest gross. It's spelled
yes
disaster for Morbius.
at the box office. So
Yeah.
yes, so Sam, as the only one of us that has seen this, how did you take it? Like all like reviews aside, how did you personally take it?
It was rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. It had. It was more the writing than anything.
Mm.
I think Jared Leto did good. I actually do.
Yeah, well, how many times
Um,
do you say that in movies that he sucks in?
Johnny,
You realize that, like,
I
movies
don't
Letters.
give
suck.
a shit about your opinion. Okay.
You tell him, Sam.
I liked it. I like Jared Leto. I don't care.
Okay.
I've seen him in stuff where he acts the shit out of stuff, so I know he
Imagine,
can act.
So you thought
imagine
he
liking
acted
Jared
well
Leto.
in this movie also. It's just that you thought the writing was really bad.
Yes,
Okay.
because it had oh my god, Matt Smith, and Matt Smith,
Yeah.
to me he's not like he's a really good actor too.
Right.
He was terrible in this,
Yeah.
so I don't know
Maybe
really
it
how
was
to
the sum
describe
of
it.
its parts and all of the parts were shit.
It was it
Uh,
like there were some parts where I was like, this could actually be a good movie, but
yeah.
they just
Jared Leto
didn't
wasn't the lead.
do it properly.
Right. So what?
There
What
was
about?
there was one what
Go.
what
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say there was one scene where like my friends and I watched it at the cottage
Okay.
this past weekend, and uh there's literally a scene in it that screams Batman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he goes into this tube and
Okay.
the music sounds like it's something from Batman. And the bats are just kind of flying around him and start landing on his arms. I'm just like, when did we start watching Batman?
Well, why?
Trying to
Another
rip
serious
Batman off.
question. Why does Jared Leto look like John Wick mixed with Macaulay Culkin?
Oh my
I don't know.
god. What? I don't know. That's I do not disagree with that. But but let me ask you this though then. So what was like the Vulture tie-in in the movie? Like how did that work?
He doesn't show up until the very end.
Oh, was it the after credit scene or?
Then
I'm trying
he swoops down like
trying to
Horace the
remember
Boxing
if it
Guy.
is,
Hmm.
but like he shows up twice. I'm trying to remember if it's at the very end of the
Isn't
movie
he in
or
like
both
prison
the
or
after
something?
credits.
Okay.
Yes.
Isn't he in prison? Yeah, I think I saw the after credits scene actually. One,
So it's got to be both of them. He kind of like appears in this universe,
Right.
and the prison cell was previously empty, so it's like, oh, who's this guy? Where'd he come from? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then the next one, it's supposed to set up the next Morbius, or it was actually maybe supposed to set up. It actually might have been to set up the Sinister Six
Uh
because
who the hell
Vulture
wants
goes
to see
to
the
talk to
next
Morbius.
Morbius?
well nobody now, but um
You
but
say
yes.
Vulture fucked Morbius?
Yeah, he. No, I said Vulture.
Yes. So they met in prison essentially, but it was not a
No,
it was
So
not a
maybe-
conjugal visit. No.
No,
Ooh, maybe it
the
was.
Vulture. I can't even remember his actual name, but he was let
Adrian
out of prison
Toomes.
because in this what?
Adrian Toomes.
Yes, yeah. He was let out of prison because he technically wasn't supposed to be in prison in this universe.
Oh, so they tried to play it where like he got sucked out of like Tom Holland's universe and got
Yes.
thrown in prison in Morbius's. Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
what I was asking you. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and so he was roaming free, and he created his Vulture costume again, and then flew to meet Morbius, and they had a conversation. And
Oh,
that was
that was like the after credit scene,
after
basically.
credit.
Oh, like
Yeah.
the second post credits. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting, actually. That's interesting. So
And
he
like, what like D-list superhero could we get? It was like when Deadpool got Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
well, I mean, the Vulture is like alive, and Michael Keaton's a boss, so I'm okay with it. But
I
I
love
guess
Michael
Michael
Keaton
Keaton.
so much.
Yeah, that does sound interesting. So I feel like that's a pretty interesting subplot that they
Can we
have.
stop
But
talking about this train wreck of a movie that none of us even saw except Sam, who likes
well,
everything?
we're getting to the end of it,
Did I
motherfucker.
say I liked it, Johnny?
Yes, you did. You actually literally
I
said those words. You said
said
I liked it.
No, she said she liked
mm,
fucking
part.
Leto's. She said she liked parts
Yeah.
of it, and she liked Leto's acting, but the
All right, let me
story
ask you this,
was
Sam. This
written
is a litmus
poorly.
test. This is a very important litmus test. Did you like Jared Leto's Joker?
No.
Okay. At least,
Nobody
thank
likes
God you got something right.
nobody likes Jared Leto's Joker.
No,
Not even
there's one person who said he didn't mind Jared Leto's Joker. Do you know who it is?
Jared Leto.
No, my boy J Dogger.
Oh my god, I just lost a lot of respect for him,
He's like, it's like a
and
different
I
take
didn't
on the
have much to
character.
begin with.
You know what I think?
What?
Yeah.
Silence. Okay, whatever you tried to do didn't come across, so that's good.
Oh, whatever.
But
They're just
yeah, I
J.
mean that
Jonah
we don't really
Jameson saying, "No, it's
have
crap."
to say anything else about Morbius. But yeah, it bombed horribly, and were there good parts of it? Maybe. But yeah, the writing. I'm glad you brought the writing up because I think that might be a reoccurring theme for some of these. So yeah, so next after Morbius was I think that was Doctor Strange was the next thing after Morbius. So it was Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which I think we all saw, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep,
Okay.
yep, yep.
So I actually just recently rewatched this movie a couple days ago, and I have to say, when I initially saw it, I thought it was really good, and on the rewatch, I still thought it was really good. So I think it's definitely either that or Thor is probably the top
Dude,
thing to talk about here.
you are fucking kidding me. I know we're not getting to Thor yet, but I think that Thor was the fucking worst movie in this phase of the MCU. Like, hands
Really?
down.
All right. Well,
Like,
I
honestly,
hold that.
and I'm including, like, Shang-Chi and Black Widow
Shang-Chi was
in that.
good. What are you talking about?
Dude,
Black.
Thor was not. The more I think about Thor, the more I like Eternals more than I like Thor.
Wow, that's too far. That's going too
Eternals
far.
came out last year, though, didn't it? Or did I
Yes, it
talk about
did.
it?
Yeah, and so did Shang-Chi, but I liked
We should have
Shang-Chi.
just talked about Phase 5 instead of just stuff that comes out this year. But the point, because we saw more of Phase 5.
Yeah, but we're trying to keep this
Like,
conversation tight.
I saw
and
Doctor
and the
Strange.
last time and the thing is the last time we talked about Marvel was when we talked about Spider-Man, and everything that we're talking about now is like post Spider-Man essentially. So
Er,
but yeah, so I thought Doctor Strange was really good, and on the rewatch, like I said, I also thought it was really good on the rewatch. Was there so like obviously have a lot more good things to say than bad. Like the CGI or the effects in Doctor Strange, aside from the third eye Doctor Strange, I thought was really good. Like the third eye, that was I don't know why they couldn't have just thrown a couple more G's and make that look better. But other than that, I thought the all the CGI and the effects were incredible. I thought the plot was good. It was really good actually, and the action was really good. Like it was a really balls to the wall movie. Like there was barely any breathing room start to finish. Like they crammed a lot of action in this movie, which I appreciate. Um, and they still made it make sense. Did the plot make perfect sense? No, but it made like more or less good sense. I think um, some stuff like the American Chavez like being the only one and being able to like punch a hole in the multiverse was kind of like like that seems a little but like
Canon.
I know. I'm just saying, like someone who exists that has that power just seems a little like, oh man, this is just way too convenient. Um, but yeah. But overall, I really liked it. I liked what they did. So I liked everything they did with Scarlet Witch up until her not getting like a redemption live at the end of it. Like I liked her story.
why do you
Like
want her to live?
well, because like I like the
She's still
character, and
alive.
well, she's probably still alive, more or less. I give it like 50-50 to be honest with you, but
Nah, she's still alive. She's got to deal the mutants and stuff.
she doesn't have to. They killed Quicksilver in his first appearance, so she
No.
doesn't have to. But my point
There's
is,
a
like,
storyline. Okay.
the one, yeah, no, you can, yeah. So all I'll say about that for right now is that, like, just because they have a storyline in the comics doesn't mean they have to get to it in the movies. But having said that, I did like the whole story around her. I thought it was a little like honestly on the rewatch one big thing that stuck out to me was it kind of felt like a little unbelievable that like 1 minute she's like alongside all the Avengers and like fighting with them and she's one of them and like it's all good, and then the next minute like nobody gives a fuck about her, and then she's like out on her own and nobody like that kind of like on the rewatch especially kind of made me feel like that I have a little bit of a problem with that, because like you mean to tell me that every single fucking Avenger who lived through Endgame like doesn't give a fuck about her and never cared to like try
Yep.
to help her or check on her or like like that just seems so unbelievable to me,
That's
like
what
cuz
happened, though.
Wasn't Hawkeye like her boy?
yeah, like where the
Yep.
fuck, yeah, Hawkeye was her
Yeah,
boy, so
nobody
like
got in contact with her. That's why the whole WandaVision thing happened. Yeah, nobody checked on her.
it just seems unbelievable to me like that you're that.
Wouldn't Nick Fury like go check on her too? Because
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
like
in
it
fucking
just
space.
it would, well he is now,
oh
but
yeah, that's
like
right.
I
He
just
got
it
to
He
keep
was
just
in
track of
space during
everything.
that too.
I know it
When did he go in
feels
space? Wait, when did he go in space?
they revealed it at the end of, it was the post credit scene of WandaVision, I
Eternals?
think, or no, it wasn't WandaVision.
No, it was second
Um
Spider-Man.
well, oh yeah, it was
Oh,
the post credit
Spider-Man.
scene of Far From Home. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That they
Uh,
revealed that. Um but yeah, I don't know. So, but overall, as far as Doctor Strange, as far as the plot goes, generally don't have a problem with it. Um, but yeah, it was, and yeah, I guess that's pretty much all I have to say. The action was great, the humor was there, which you love. I love the way that they did the surprises with the multiverse tie-in with fucking Professor Patrick Stewart. That was, even though the trailer ruined that, that was still pretty cool. Um, but yeah, trailers ruin too many things these days. What can you do? So,
I
um,
found some worst Marvel CGI compilations, and some of it is from Doctor Strange.
the third eye was the only thing I have everything else.
Oh, the scene where Black Bolt kills Doctor Strange in the other universe is pretty shitty.
Oh, it's not that bad. I mean,
Oh, I just watched it, and it's pretty rough.
I mean, they don't even really show it barely. It's just like he just
No, but
disintegrates
I'm
essentially.
showing the whole scene. It just looks like a really bad green screen.
Oh,
It's like when Bruce Banner was in the Hulkbuster and his head was like it looked like it was floating.
oh yeah, that one was kind of bad too. But
It's pretty much like that level.
I don't know if it's that bad, but it's not the best. But you know, I don't know. The eye was the only thing that bothered me. But what did you think, Johnny? Then aside from that,
But what?
about the movie as a whole, Doctor
Doctor
Strange.
I thought it was good. I definitely enjoyed it. I don't really care that Wanda didn't get her redemption because they kind of made it ambiguous as to whether or not she died,
Mm,
so they could always bring her back. And I don't feel like she was very redeemable at that point. And I
yeah.
actually I thought it would have been a fucking cop out if after all the shit she did, like all the people she killed and all the shit she fucked up, they would have just been like, ah, he's good now. It would like it
Yeah.
would, yeah,
Yeah.
it would have been
That's
like,
fair.
yeah. She's good now just because she changed her mind at the last minute and didn't destroy the entire multiverse.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
guess that's.
they redeemed Loki. They redeemed Bucky after generations and stuff of
Yeah, but
murdering
Loki
people.
wasn't even really like redeemed fully at the end. Like he still like tried to
Bucky was.
he still like made it look like he was gonna. Well, Bucky was also like brainwashed the entire
Yeah,
time
you
he was
can't really
doing all that
compare
shit.
that. Yeah, that's not a fair
Yeah, and I was like,
comparison.
Loki wasn't even really like fully redeemed. Like even at the very end, right before he died, you were still like questioning whether or not he was betraying them to try and join Thanos anyway, right? So like,
Well, I think
I don't
she's
feel like
she's
that's
talking
either
more
of those are a
about.
fair comparison.
Well, I think she's talking. You're probably talking more about the Loki series than when he died in
Yeah.
Infinity War, right? Which they did kind of redeem him in that. But
Yeah, I guess, but that's the thing is like that Loki still hasn't done like some stuff.
sure. Well, yeah, that Loki, all he did, and so so I guess in a way you could say like with I think the Wanda and Loki comparison is more fair, because like it's like
But
with
the other thing is
Loki.
he needed a whole series to redeem himself, and he's still not even really redeemed. And on
Well,
top of that, like it would have been a cop out if she's just like at the end of the show she's just like because she had a whole series where it was
yeah,
basically her ruining everybody else's lives and then she
yeah.
kills a bunch of people in this whole movie and then if there was like a 5 minute scene at the end of the movie where she'd be like oh well I changed my mind now I'm good that would have
Well,
been completely bullshit.
Well, don't get me wrong. I'm not asking for that, but I would have liked to see her like like after like the ambiguity around whether she's dead or not was the only thing that I'd be like I wish I just like I do like, and maybe there's some bias on my side because I do like the character, um, but especially compared to other like as far as like female leads in the NC MCU post fucking Scarlett Johansson. I think I like her the best. Definitely
Who,
better than Captain Marvel. Definitely
wait, who do
better
you like
than
best?
Scarlet Witch.
Oh, she's not really a lead though. Oh yeah, I
I'm
guess she was in her series.
yes, but like, so maybe there's some bias on my side, but I think the Loki comparison is fair in a sense that like they did like with Loki, they went out of their way to try and like suggest that the like the staff with the Mind Stone in it was like fucking with him and making him like make decisions he wouldn't otherwise make, even though he was still a bad guy kind of. And with her, like when she had the Darkhold in this movie, it was kind of the same thing where like it was they were trying to suggest that she was doing things that she wouldn't have otherwise done because it
because of
was
Darkhold.
poisoning her mind. So like
True, I guess
so
that's fair.
so like yeah, I'm not asking for I wouldn't be asking for like an instant redemption or anything, but just something to be like, they lock her up or whatever and but like yeah, I don't know. I do agree with you though that I wouldn't have wanted to see her go from like fucking completely evil killing everybody to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, everything's okay." Like I wouldn't want to see that at all.
I
But
also feel like her whole turn to being like completely evil in this movie is pretty fucking like thin, to be honest. Like
yeah.
I don't know, she's just like all of a sudden because of some annoying bratty ass fucking bitch ass kids. Now she's like, like these kids were horrible. It's completely unbelievable. Like
Well,
yeah.
well, even if the
And they
kids
were
were
fake. They were horrible and fake. Why would she like? It's so
that's
dumb. It doesn't
well,
even.
well, that's what happens when you lose your mind. I'll say that.
I suppose.
So, Sam, I'd love to
You
get
know
your
who? You know who
take.
lost his mind and eventually found it?
Who's that? If you're trying to play audio, it's not coming through.
Oh, I'm
Thankfully.
not. Oh, wait, wait. Actually, I don't even. Here we go. Here we go.
A rhino named Mitt Romney.
Oh my god. All right, Sam. Take us home with your opinion on the Multiverse of
I
Madness.
liked it a lot.
All
I
right.
liked her arc, and I know from the comic that if they're gonna go the way that they were like seems like they're going, she's gonna kind of like end up in this little village
Hmm.
and kind of like
With the
wipe her
village
powers
people.
herself. So
Okay.
that's gonna be her redemption. She's gonna be human, kind of.
Okay.
Um,
Interesting.
and excuse me about her children and why she went mad. Scarlet Witch has literally lost everybody in her life.
Enjoy the club,
She
bitch.
lost her parents when she was a child. She lost her twin brother. She
Yes.
lost her the only other person she's ever loved. Granted, he was a machine, but it doesn't fucking matter.
The Vision, even though he's
Um,
still kind of not dead, but.
well, to her, he was at first.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, I know.
She watched him die. She killed
But
him.
what about Star Lord? He didn't become psychopath. Like he got taken
He
away from his
didn't
family
lose
when he was a
literally
kid.
everybody.
Yeah, he did. He lost Gamora. He got taken away from his family
He
when he was
has
a kid.
the entire
He had to
group
kill. He
still.
had to kill his own dad, who was a planet.
Yeah, I mean
With
he
that.
did still have some people to lean on, which is true, but at the same
Dude, she could
time,
have just went to Comertage at any time and been like, "Yo,
she like
decided not to."
that's where for me it ties back to being annoyed that like no one else like could have like been there for her,
Okay, I
like
get
from a practical
annoyed, but like,
standpoint.
I don't know, man. It's pretty flimsy.
So, well, and
I'm not gonna go blowing up the entire multiverse for some shit kids just because people annoyed me.
yes. Well, I understand, but actually, as a side note, I do have to bring this up. Like, where the
I do have to bring this up.
no, you don't.
Wait,
Um,
Loser! You're a loser!
oh my God, no. But I have to bring this up. Where the fuck is Vision? Like, where the fuck did he go? Like, he
he's dead.
flies.
He got his head
He was
caved in by
supposed to be in
Thanos.
Thunderbolt.
No, he got brought back to life, and then he
No, he
flew
didn't.
off. Yes, he did, and then he flew off at the end of
White Vision.
yes, the pale Vision or the
The
black and
full.
white Vision, whatever you want
Yeah.
to call him, and he flew off at the end of WandaVision. Where the fuck is he? What the fuck? Where did he go? Like,
He's
I,
It's
Morbin.
only been a couple of projects. I'm sure he'll pop back up.
but
He's
like,
Morbin.
I don't know. It just feels like he should be somewhere. Like, but wait. So you said he was supposed to be in the Thunderbolts, but he's not
I
gonna be.
mean, looking at who the Thunderbolts were supposed to be, he's
The
supposed to be
Thunderbolts
there.
aren't the Thunderbolts all supposed to be like sidekicks?
Basically,
Yeah.
yeah, more or less. but
I mean, Zemo's not a sidekick. He's supposed to be
he's
in the
the
Thunderbolts.
douchebag. Yeah, he's supposed to be. Well, originally
He's
I think he's supposed to be the leader, but in this version of
Yeah.
them, he's not. I think it's supposed to be
No,
fucking.
Bucky is.
No, it's supposed
Oh
to be
no, sorry,
Elaine.
Elena is.
Elaine Bennis is supposed to be the leader.
Well, no, actually, no. Yelena is the leader of the Thunderbolts.
No, get the fuck out of here.
Yes, she
Bucky
is.
Bucky has rank on all those motherfuckers. Like I.
Well,
yeah, he's
then read the articles where it says Yelena is the leader of the
All
Thunderbolts.
right, well we'll get to that later because that's that. There's we still got a couple of years till that comes out, but
that's why Captain America could never beat General Zod. 'Cause General Zod outranks him.
fair enough.
Oh
So,
my god.
but yeah, so I don't know. I think that covers Doctor Strange pretty well. I did like also. I guess we didn't. We spent a lot of time talking about everyone else except Doctor Strange in this
We
Doctor
didn't talk
Strange
about America
analysis.
either. America Vespucci or whatever her name is.
America Chavez.
Precisely.
I like Doctor Strange's like kind of evolution of like figuring his own, working through his own issues and like the psychology. Like they really did a good job, I think. And Benedict Cumberbatch did a good job of acting it, but they did a good job of taking you through his story and showing you like the evolution of his thought process, kind of. So I like that. Um, and I liked, yeah, the kid is not annoying, so I can appreciate America Chavez, so I can appreciate that. She's not obnoxious like most younger people they cast in movies, so
I'm
I
still
like that.
going.
Oh, shut up, damn it. um, so yeah, so I liked all that. So I have very few negative things to say about this. I think start to finish, and the action, it was great action, just start to finish. I love that. So um, yeah, so
There
I think
wasn't enough Wong.
there was a lot of Wong. What are you
Still
talking
not
about?
enough.
Actually,
Still not
come to
enough.
think of it, Wong's really been making the rounds. Like he was in
Yeah,
Shang Chi, he was in Doctor
yeah,
Strange, he's in She Hulk. Like he's everywhere.
yeah, but it's still not enough Wong.
All right. So, but yeah, that brings us to the next project we got, and we're not going to spend too much time on this one, I don't think. But it was Miss Marvel actually, and I am 99% sure that none of us have seen it. Am I right about that? I know I haven't.
Correct.
Johnny?
Uh, I don't even know. Is that like what is it? Miss Marvel, the one that Rogue like made out with and stole her powers?
No. I don't
Isn't
know
that
what
what
you're.
happened?
No, that didn't. That's not a
Damn,
thing.
am I crazy or didn't that happen
I
Uh,
at
don't
some point?
know.
I
Or
don't
was
think so. No, in
because
the
Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel and Shazam and the male Captain Marvel and Marvel and what's her name? What the fuck is the black chick's name?
Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, Monica Rambeau. They're all, what the hell? There's like they're all like the same person, but they're kind of not, and they are, but they aren't. And
So
it's not really there's not really a multiverse type situation going on.
they're
Maybe there
just all
is.
there. Okay, so here's what I know about Miss Marvel. So Miss Marvel, to my knowledge, Miss Marvel didn't exist up until the Avengers game. I think that came out a few years
No,
ago.
she was there before that.
Was she
It's just a
okay?
few, like, not too long before that.
Oh yeah,
The video
she's a
game is
pretty
not
new.
what created Miss Marvel.
Yeah, so she's a pretty new character as far as comics or otherwise source material goes, and so base I really don't know a lot about the character, but I know that she's supposed to be some teenage girl who's like a Captain Marvel super fan, I guess, and then somehow
She's an Avengers fan. Like,
yes, but also
not just
specifically
no, not
Captain.
just Captain Marvel.
Yes, not just Captain Marvel, but specifically she has a shine for Captain Marvel. And so then she somehow finds some magical whatever, I don't know, that turns her into a superhero too. That's
I
that's
knew it. In the '90s X-Men cartoon, Rogue absorbed Miss Marvel's powers and put her in a coma.
yeah, but they were calling Miss Marvel Captain Marvel, or they were calling Captain Marvel, the female Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel back then. So
Well,
that's
it
why
does
it's
say her
confusing.
name. It does say her name is Carol Danvers.
Yeah,
That's
Carol.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
Carol Danvers is the Brie
Captain
Larson Captain
Marvel.
Marvel. Yes,
And who's
and
that muscle suit guy who has this lightning bolt on his chest?
you mean Black
Huh?
Bolt?
No, the guy in the red suit who makes all the jokes.
Shazam?
He has like the
That's
yeah,
Shazam.
Shazam,
his friend's a
yeah.
crippled kid.
Yeah, Shazam. That's that guy. Yeah, but that's
Where does he
different
fit?
universe. They were yeah,
SDC.
it's confusing because of the names, but you have to just separate that even though the names they're all separate characters. So my point with Miss Marvel is like so the
There's a
reason
copyright in there somewhere.
yeah, so I don't know because I didn't so I actually had planned on watching this show initially, even though I really didn't have a lot of interest in it. Because like it just didn't sound very appealing to me, and then I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot anyway. But the problem was it came out, I think, in like early June, I want to say. And the problem is a lot of other shows came out around the same time, like Stranger Things, and then The Boys, and I think there was another one or two in there.
Oh,
Um,
I just finished The Boys. I just finished the season 3.
Good show, great show. Um, but yeah, so I basically what happened with me was I just was watching so many other things that I just didn't get to Captain Marvel, or I'm sorry, Miss Marvel, because it was pretty low on my list of watches toward the bottom, and then I just never got to it, and that's pretty much why I didn't watch it. And now it just seems pointless. But I know Sam, was there a reason in particular that you didn't watch it? Was it kind of the same thing where you just didn't get
Yeah,
to it?
like I
Okay,
just had other stuff, and then time passed.
I know I didn't
gotcha.
watch it because it involved a girl, and anything with
Oh my
a female
God.
lead is a woke is
Excuse
woke
me, sir. You're
the woke
basically
agenda.
Canadian now. You should be supporting a Canadian.
She's
She's
Canadian?
Canadian.
Yeah, she's
I support
she's
great
from
Canadians
Brampton, Ontario.
Oh,
like Jordan. She's from Brampton.
Yeah,
Is she Indian?
yes.
yes.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, that's why she's from Brampton, and so on and so forth.
I mean, you're not wrong.
There you
Hold
go.
on. But I support great Canadians like Jordan Peterson and
I thought you were gonna say
what's that
Wayne
other?
Gretzky.
No, like Jordan Peterson and Steven Crowder.
He is fair enough, fair enough. But um,
Say I don't even know who those people are.
No.
Right wing nut jobs.
they're
Uh,
not nuts. What are you talking about? They might be right wing, but they're not crazy. But anyway, my point is, so yeah, I don't really have too much to say about that. It was a lot of it was bad timing combined with just lack of interest because I feel so.
Miss Marvel activated at the same time as Stranger Things and missed its timing.
Yeah,
and
pretty
Stranger
much.
Things was more important to me.
Yeah, absolutely. That and the boys was way more important. But yeah, I feel like they also kind of misfired with that in the sense of like there are many other characters in Marvel that I feel like were
Well, it's
that
because they're setting up the future,
I
right?
Dude, we should
understand.
totally
Look,
do a podcast about the boys.
maybe, but my point is,
That's something we all actually fucking watched.
well, we did watch most of all of us watched most of this, so it's fine.
No, none of us saw Miss Marvel.
Yeah, but
None of us.
that's why we're not talking about it for
Only
very
one of
long.
us saw Morbius.
Whatever.
Only
My
one of
point
us saw Moon Knight.
Oh my God! Stop being disagreeable. All I'm trying to say
Derailer.
is,
I'm
oh
gonna
my
give you
God,
the derailer like Albert.
oh my God. My point is with Miss Marvel that I feel like they kind of missed the mark in the sense that there are a lot of other and I get don't get me wrong, Sam. I understand they're trying to plan for the future and bringing the younger heroes in now. I get that, but I still feel like there were a lot of other heroes that should have been on the docket to have their stories told and shows made before this one since it's such a new hero and they
Well, I
just
mean, they're all coming out now.
yeah, I know, and it's just they kind of, to me, it felt like they were kind of just like, okay, we want to just shove this in here because like they felt like maybe it was relevant because of the Avengers game that came out. Because like I don't think there were a lot of
No,
people
no,
who
no.
knew. Well, I don't think there were a lot of people who knew about Miss Marvel at all prior to the Avengers game because she was a pretty new character, and then the Avengers game because game was a big success,
Hold
kind of
on,
like
hold on.
put her
Oh,
out
it
there
was
a little
not.
more. It wasn't. I thought it was.
It's
Oh,
garbage. There's so many memes making fun of it on the internet.
It
I've
was.
watched.
huh.
Gosh, Sam.
I
Don't
guess I've
defend
been
something just because you
misinformed.
spent a lot of money on it.
Well, I don't know,
No,
but
see, it got really repetitive, and its bugs. That's what really brought it down. Not
gotcha.
even bringing in the new characters
Dude, it
will.
feels like a game that came out in 2008.
Because
Just saying.
Why do
I
I
thought
bother talking?
there was a lot of hype around it when it came out. I thought.
I mean, it would have been good if it would have been like an early PlayStation 3
Did you
game.
play it? Did you?
I've seen enough of it though to
So
know.
you haven't played it.
No, he hasn't. That's funny. Well, it is what it is. But yeah, we don't have to spend any more time talking about Miss Marvel. That's just it was what it was. So,
Is Miss
um,
Marvel like a popular character?
she was isn't she one of the central things in the game? I
Yes.
thought. Yeah, she's
She
like
is the main story
of the game.
thing.
Yeah, so
Yes.
like I said, I feel like that pushed her more toward the
It,
limelight.
no, what pushed her is the fact that she's going to be in the next Captain Marvel movie, and that's coming out when?
Who
Uh,
knows?
I think
Whenever Brie,
2024. I
whenever
think.
Is
whenever
it
they can get Brie,
2024?
I don't think it's
whenever they can get Brie
2023.
Larson to turn off her resting bitch face long enough to film some scenes.
Um,
So
so
never.
Steve, because it's gonna be all of the Marvels, so I guess they wanted to introduce her now because of how big
They
she's gonna
want.
be in. Because as
Gotcha.
far like I didn't see the show, but I know that oh shit, I know that the end credits was
Mhm.
she and Captain Marvel switch places.
Oh,
Captain
Oh, it's
Marvel ends up in her room,
like a
and Miss
Freaky
Marvel ends
Friday.
up in space.
It's like Freaky Friday.
huh.
No, it's not Freaky Friday.
It sounds like that one movie
They
where
just
people.
transport.
So is it like Brie Larson is like in the body of
No, no,
No,
like
no.
not Freaky
literally just
Friday.
Okay,
transfers.
not
Like
Freaky. Okay, gotcha,
It's
gotcha.
more like the transporter.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll have to see where that goes. But yeah, so next up on the list is after that was the Thor movie, Thor: Love and Thunder. Um, so yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder, fourth Thor movie,
Four out of
groundbreaking
10.
for no. So um,
-5 stars.
I was skeptical going into this movie because the feel of the movie that I got, like the trailers looked good and I thought it looked interesting to me. The story looked interesting, but the feeling that I was getting from it as we were going into it was that they were just trying to like push Chris Hemsworth out the door and like you know what? If that was the feel that they were trying to give me and then curveball me, they got me. I'll admit it. They got me. And
Here's some porn.
I didn't like, yeah, I didn't like that idea. Like the idea of them trying to just push him out the door didn't sit well with me. So I'm glad that that's not what happened. And so even having said that, I will say that I actually liked the movie a lot. I was it perfect? No. Did it have its issues? Yes. But I think overall there was good action sequences, good fight sequences, good humor. Like it had all the staple elements that a Marvel movie or show should have or usually has. So, with the action, the humor, the story was, I think, good. Were there parts of it that kind of didn't make sense? Definitely. But I think all in all, like the general outline of the story was good. Um, I did like what they did with Thor, like the way they told his story about, again, like it's all about storytelling at the end of the day. So I did like the story that they told around Thor, and kind of like the evolution of his mindset again. Um, in like a post kind of like end game world and like how he just it's a similar situation where he fights and wins and then like what does he really have at the end of the day was kind of like where he is mentally. But I thought uh bringing Natalie Portman back was kind of just to be female Thor for a brief juncture before she died was kind of like
She's
look
not female Thor. She's Mighty Thor. You second pig.
whatever. My point, you know what I mean. My point is,
We
um,
also speak about how bad that line was,
which one?
where he was like, what did he call her, Lady Thor? And she's like, I am not Lady Thor. I am Mighty Thor. Or you can call me Dr. Jane Foster. It's like you're gonna say this in the middle of like they're like
Oh,
literally
you
like
mean when she
clashing
was?
like in a battle.
Oh,
Yeah,
when she was
and then
fighting fucking Christian Bale. Yeah,
yeah,
that was bad. That was a not good point in the movie. I'll give you that. Um,
it was a bad line.
but
It could have
yeah,
made it so much better. It could have just been like I don't know. She could have said it could have been like delivered better. It could have been written better. It could have been shortened. Like it was just such a dumb
sure.
fucking line.
And so yeah, there was definitely that. But I will say, like, I'm not a big Natalie Portman fan by any stretch of the imagination. But I think the way that she played it in this movie was, I think, better than the other Thor movies, in my opinion. I mean, not the first one; she was good in the first one. The second one was kind of like, yeah,
No,
but that
it
whole
wasn't
movie
really
was
good
kind
in
of eh.
either. It's just that the first one facilitated her character better.
Sure, yeah. So, but I mean, I think in this one, it kind of, I did like what they did with her, better in this one. I like the story
Yeah, I actually
better.
think she was better in this one than either of the first two, but she still wasn't good.
Yeah, well, not great, but yeah, good enough, I would say. And I will say, so another huge highlight of the movie for
Oh, I
me.
know the answer to this one.
No, you don't.
What?
Her
Well,
death.
No, I wasn't gonna say that.
Oh
Actually,
no,
Oh,
Sam,
no.
I was
I
gonna
was
say
gonna
it was.
say
I was
another.
gonna say it was when actually the real highlight was when Thor was naked.
Here's some porn.
No, not at all. What I was going to say, Sam, before I was so rudely derided. Even though, yes, I was happy that they killed Natalie Portman off at the end, but that wasn't what I was going to say. What I was going to say was that another huge highlight for me of this movie was Christian Bale and his acting
He
as
was really
Gore,
good.
the God Butcher. And don't get me wrong, once again, I am not a huge Christian Bale mark by any stretch of the imagination, but I will give credit where credit is due. And that man acted the shit out of that role. And
Yeah,
it
he really
was,
surprised me in this. I
he
didn't
was
think he was gonna be that good.
he was incredible. He really was, and that was a huge highlight of the movie for me because
Well,
he
here's
did
the problem.
he did something that I'll finish my thought and then you can go. He did something that I often give a lot of praise to when any actor or any movie or anything can do this, and that's he took
Acting and brooding.
character. No, he took a character that you maybe didn't know much about or didn't care about, and through his portrayal of that, he made you care about it. And I
Really?
appreciate that. Yes, and he did a great job acting that role, and I give him all the credit in the world for that. And that was definitely a huge highlight of the movie. Now, go ahead.
I can't.
Go
I
ahead.
can't really agree with that. So there is a part of what you said that I agree with, but I can't really agree with the bulk of what you said. Because first of all, I will say that you're not a Christian Bale fan. I am like of the opinion that the only movie Christian Bale ever did that he was actually good in was American Psycho. But
Okay.
other than that,
You're
like
not.
I
You don't think he was good as Batman?
hell no. He was
Well,
he was probably the worst Batman of all of them, in
you
my
get the
opinion.
fuck out of here.
Yeah,
He
Listen,
really.
no, I will
revolutionized the
say this.
character. Oh my
No,
god.
not at all. The movies revolutionized the character. He was not good as Batman or Bruce Wayne.
Oh my god. You and Mitch
Ass,
need to
his,
talk
his,
to
his
each other.
fucking gargling marbles voice. And Batman. Batman.
Okay,
Like,
his Batman
no
voice
one
was
would
shit,
ever
but
talk like that. And not even
Whatever.
that. His acting is not good as Bruce Wayne. He has the same stupid fucking look on his face he has on every other movie he does. Like,
Oh
the
my
only
god.
time it worked was American Psycho because he was playing a psychopath. But other than that, that doesn't work. But
I
here's the point.
mhm.
Like, I think in this movie, because he was playing a similar type of character, he was actually good.
Okay.
I did not, and which is surprising because I don't like Christian Bale, but I think he was actually the highlight of this movie, which is fucking sad and just points to the fact about how mediocre this movie was overall. Like, first of all, I didn't care about the character at all of Gore the God Butcher because by the end of the movie, I was just like, the writing of this character is thinner than paper, and I do not give a shit about him or his stupid daughter. I just like not at all. Like Christian Bale did a good job like portraying the character, but just the whole writing and the motivation of the character was just like so flimsy, and it was barely believable. The only thing that made it passable was the fact that he did a good job with it. Um, so
Okay.
that's my thought on just that character. We can talk more about the other parts of the movie if you want.
Yeah, I mean, so like I said, I'm not gonna say that the writing was great. Like, could they have
Oh, this is the thing
explained
about the
it better?
writing.
Sure.
This is the thing about the writing. What's that guy's name? Toddy Awadi or whatever his name is.
It doesn't matter.
Guy who Sam, you know who I'm talking about. The guy who wrote this
Yeah,
movie.
Yeah.
we know who he is. Yeah, the guy
This
who wrote
train
it.
wreck. Yeah, he thinks that he can just shit on a page and it's gonna be great.
I
Yeah,
mean,
But
he
like,
gave you Ragnarok.
yeah.
but
This
that was like I feel like Ragnarok was a fluke because I've seen like some of
Do
his
you
other
see
stuff.
his other shit?
Yeah, I saw a
What We Do in
couple
the
of his.
Shadows is very popular.
All right, that show is like a fucking meme. Like,
I've never seen
but
it,
that's
so
the
I
thing
don't
is
know.
like everything he does is like that. It's just like it's very memeable, but it's not actually like very technically good. Like that's my thought on over like, and the reason why I feel like Thor Ragnarok worked is because uh it was like because Thor was like so stale and like both the Thors were like widely known as like the weakest movies in the MCU probably besides the Hulk and like he just took the character in an entirely different direction and it actually worked. But like this movie felt like it was trying to be like Ragnarok, but it was just failing in most respects in my opinion.
I don't
Like
know
the
if it was.
humor fell flat. Like I don't think I laughed a couple times, but there were quite a few times I literally cringed when I was like, "That's supposed to be a punchline," but I feel like I'm watching an episode of Greg Gutfeld.
Which, by the way, we definitely have to watch the clock here, so you can watch that new episode of Gutfeld soon. But yeah, so yeah, so I will agree with you in the sense that yes, some of the writing was definitely weak. It was definitely like all in all, the movie does not stack up to Ragnarok. I will say that Ragnarok, if like, there's no question in my mind that Ragnarok is the better of the two movies. But having said that, I still feel like this movie was better than the first two Thors, which might not be saying a lot, but I still think it was better than those two. Um, I think that with the humor, like there were maybe a couple of moments where I thought they were trying to do a joke and it didn't work. But for the most part, I thought the humor was okay. Like it wasn't
The
as
CGI on Heimdall's ghost son's head was
yeah.
horrible.
Yes, that was bad.
Definitely.
There were some bad CGI moments too, yes, but there were also good CGI moments and good fights. Like I thought the whole fight scene where they were in like black and white was actually really well done. Where they were where him and Valkyrie and Natalie Portman were fighting Gore. I thought that was all really well done. Um,
I actually forgot that Valkyrie was even in this movie.
yeah, she was just kind of, well, they had to go out of their way to tell you that she was a lesbian, so that's why she was there. How can you forget that? um, it was important. It was important storytelling, um, but yeah, I mean, but I do get what you're saying about some of this stuff. But I definitely think you're chopping it a bit too hard for my taste, or for my opinion, I should say. But um,
Again, I'm not saying there weren't parts of the movie that I liked. I'm not saying it was horrible, but I just think it was very mediocre. And like I said, I honestly would put it like close to Thor 2. Like honestly,
you know,
probably a little better than Thor 2, but I honestly feel like the first Thor might actually be better than this one.
well, I did like the first. I mean, contrary to what a lot of people say, I actually did like the first Thor movie. But yeah, and then
You know,
also
horse. The first Thor
yes,
only had a handful of jokes, but they all worked.
sure, yes. Sam, I'd love to get your take on Love and Thunder.
I liked it. I thought bits were funny.
Hmm.
I thought Christian Bale was great.
Hmm.
I
What
like Taika Waititi, so it doesn't fucking matter. I
Yeah, I
what
liked the
did
mean,
you
movie.
like about it?
I thought it was funny. I thought it was entertaining.
you thought it landed.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Sure,
Fair
there were
enough.
parts that were cringy. There were.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought it was great. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree more with you, to be honest. I do, I find myself falling in the middle, but I do think that there were things that they could have done better. But at the end of the
I think
day,
Korg should have gotten his boyfriend earlier in the movie, and then they should have he should have been there the whole time, so there would have been no way for them to edit that out in China.
that's funny. Wait, did he? I don't think he had a. Did he have a boyfriend?
At the
Yeah, he
end
gets
of the
married.
movie, it's like a
Oh
two
yeah.
second scene that they obviously did put there so they could edit it out for China.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They had to try and they had to throw that in there so you could be convinced that two men can make a baby. That's right. I almost forgot about that. Oh, again, it's important storytelling, you know. Um, but yeah, no, I think overall, would I like again? I wouldn't say. I think, and so I will say this, but I think maybe one of the reasons why you don't like it so much, or that you're thinking that a lot of the humor isn't quite as good, is because you're measuring it very closely against Ragnarok. And like I said, I think if you're comparing Love and Thunder to Ragnarok, Ragnarok is going to win hands down. Like that's not to say Love and Thunder is not a good movie to me, but Ragnarok is clearly a better movie.
Serenity now!
Yeah, so definitely I would say that. But I also did like how they ended it. I'll end my analysis of
Oh my god, the
of
stupid
this.
Valhalla BS.
No, no, no,
What's
not that.
wrong with Valhalla?
I thought that was interesting the way they
Yeah, but
tied
there's
in with
you
the
have Valhalla, and now
you
you
have
have the
fat out of
spirit
shape Zeus.
realm.
That's
I
funny.
mean, that's literally how the world is, you asshole.
Fat out of shape
Oh,
Zeus was awesome. What are you talking about?
that's
And
not
how
what
he's
that
not
wasn't
That's
that?
in
not
Valhalla.
Valhalla.
Not Valhalla. That was
Yeah,
the
I know it's
god,
not
whatever.
Valhalla. No, I'm not talking about that end of the movie. I'm talking about the end of the movie where where Chris Hemsworth adopts his own daughter, and
Yeah, it
then
was
Uh,
cute.
like, yeah, I like that. And that's a good. That's somewhere they can go in the future with it. So I like that.
that was his actual daughter.
Yep.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, so I like that. I mean, I
That was
could
Gore's daughter.
the Valhalla thing. I don't really care about with fucking. I mean, they just needed a reason to get Idris Elba in there for like 30 seconds, which is fine. But um,
Why?
I mean, I like Idris Elba.
I mean, we do, but like
he's very
he
good.
fucking died.
I
And
mean, there
like,
was
why?
no reason
It would be like just bringing back like Robert Downey Jr. for no reason.
just to
It'd
show
be
him
like,
in heaven, like sitting there playing like chess against God or something, and then winning. Yeah, so that would be. It's a little bit of fan service, but all in all, like I said, I thought it was good and I liked it. But now this is going to bring us to the very last thing that Marvel is currently doing and has done so far this year, and that is none other than the critically no the
Making fun of it.
critically acclaimed She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. Now, as of this recording, oh my god. All right. As of
Johnny, stop.
Yeah, come on now. I don't want to get copyright striked. So, as of this recording, She-Hulk is still going on. It has not
oh, it
concluded
is?
because
Not over?
to my surprise, it is not 6 episodes. It is 9 episodes for some reason.
You didn't know that?
I
How many
didn't know it
episodes
until
have
I
there been
looked it
so
up.
far?
So I've watched the first 6 episodes, and while I think they're on episode like 7 I think episode 8 is coming out later this week. I'm not 100% sure, but I watched the first 6 two at a time, and then after the 6th episode, I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't feel like an ending point to the show. And then I looked online and I was like, there's 9 episodes of this. Like, what the fuck? Like, oh my god. So okay, let me take you guys on a journey because I don't know if either of you
I
guys
mean,
have watched.
I do love Mark Ruffalo, so maybe he's 9 episodes worth of entertaining. But I heard he's not even in it that much.
Yeah, that is true. So you didn't watch it, Sam. I don't think you've watched it either.
No.
Not
Okay.
even over. Maybe we should have waited to do this podcast in a couple of weeks.
Nah, it's fine. So let me we there was some blockbuster news drop that had to make this happen now while it was still fresh. So, and I think the way She-Hulk ends is not going to change my opinion of how it's been so far.
So, what did you say when you saw the CGI in She-Hulk?
So I'll get to that. But in a word, why is all I can say. Um, but let me paint a picture for you guys. So once again, similarly with Morbius, I was actually very much looking forward to watching She-Hulk, because you know what, She-Hulk is not the most inventive character, it's not the most original character, it's not the whatever, but I've always kind of liked She-Hulk, and I even though she's kind of like a combination of regular Hulk and Daredevil, but I like those characters. So
Is she? Why is she a combination of Daredevil?
because
And
she's a
she's a
lawyer.
lawyer.
Oh,
um,
I thought she had like heightened senses and she was blind or something.
no, not that part of Daredevil, which we'll get to. But anyway, so I was actually really looking forward to watching She-Hulk, and then I saw
I
the
was just thinking
trailer.
I should ask my client who's a lawyer if Daredevil's his favorite superhero.
He should be. But anyway, um, so I was really looking forward to She-Hulk. Then I watched the trailer, and after the first trailer, I
And then you
was
saw the
like,
CGI and your reaction was,
What the hell is even that?
yeah, and the CGI wasn't even the worst part, but as I'll explain, I saw it and I was like, what the hell is going on? Like I
what the hell is
instantly
even that?
yeah, I instantly had a terrible feeling that the writing was going to be bad. And in the first couple of trailers that came out, which I might have been the only ones, um, it gave me a very negative sensation of how they were going to portray this character in this show. And
Well, what's wrong with it?
so the impression I got from the trailers, like, so the my okay, so let me start at the beginning. My impression of She-Hulk as a character historically is, obviously like a strong woman, but also like an ass kicker, someone who's got brains and brawn, someone who's likable for those qualities. And so in the trailer, they
Isn't
portray.
David Otunga in this?
Yes, he is. As one of She-Hulk's dates, which is a problem that I will also address in a
Because they're
second.
like, we got to get a big buff guy and have her carry him.
That wasn't him that he carried, or that wasn't him that she carried, though. It
And
was somebody else.
I thought she carried him.
No, it wasn't him. It was somebody else. But anyway, so let me get
Uh,
there. Let me get there. So but in the trailers, the character, and in the show, I will say, because my intuition was correct, in the show, the character is portrayed as an extremely unlikable, like, just like stuck up. Like, it's kind of weird because the character is portrayed in one of two ways. Either the character is portrayed as like this, like, high on herself, like stuck up, like righteous, like feminazi, or she's portrayed as like this meek, mild mannered, like sweet, like innocent thing. And it's like those two things are completely the opposite of each other.
All right, hold on a second. What do you mean she's portrayed as like either of the? Do you mean like one is like when she's the Hulk and one when she's not the Hulk?
No, that would make sense actually, but it's not even that. It's like when she's not She-Hulk, it's like sometimes when she's regular Jennifer Walters, she's one of those things, and sometimes she's the other one of those things, and sometimes when she's She-Hulk, she's one of those things, and sometimes when she's She-Hulk, she's the other
Oh,
one of
so
those things. And
are
it's
you
like
saying she has like a split personality, or is it inconsistent writing?
inconsistent writing is what I'm saying. Like, so I'll give you, and so to give you guys an example of the writing, and don't get me wrong, I am going to say there are some good parts of this, but let me just give you guys an idea of the writing of this show. So the first episode is you meet her, and then they do something that I usually don't like when shows do this, which is like they have her talk to the camera. Which, yes, Sam, before you tell me it's accurate, okay, I know
Yep.
that. But they have her talk to the camera, and then they have her do a
Hey,
flashback of like
lazy storytelling is bad, whether it's canon or from the comics or not.
that is also true. But so they do this, and then they tell her, "Oh, she's like, oh, I suppose you're wondering how I became She-Hulk or something like that." And then they show how it happens, and so how it happens is they have her and regular Hulk, who is Bruce Banner, her cousin, are driving in a car, and
Hmm.
then a spaceship drops down on the road and causes them to crash.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, no problem with that. And in the crash, the Hulk is wearing some kind of device that prevents him from turning into the Hulk for some reason, and
Answer from
so
what?
prevents him from turning into the Hulk for some reason. He's wearing that.
Okay.
So in the car
Oh,
wreck.
it's before he became the professor.
No, he's Professor Hulk at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, he
It's
is
after the
Professor
blip.
Hulk.
Yes, this is after everything
Wait.
with
So you say
Endgame.
he's Professor Hulk, but he's wearing a device that prevents him from becoming the Hulk?
Yes, for some reason.
He
He's
said,
figured it out, obviously.
Yes.
"Hold on. So hold up. But is he green?
No, he's just Bruce Banner.
Oh, I thought he was always Professor Hulk.
He was, but
That was
then
the choice made,
yes,
and then
but then in this he decided to make the choice of turning himself of wearing a device that prevented him from being the Hulk for some reason. And I'm going to tell you what
Okay.
the reason was, and that is awful plot armor. So they crash, right? And now you're probably
So wait, they
thinking,
didn't even explain that he made this device thing. It's just like he's there
no,
wearing
he
it. It's
I'm
explained
like,
it.
sure it'll get
He
okay.
he did explain it. He's like, yeah, I'm wearing this that prevents me from turning the Hulk. He doesn't. I don't think he said why, but he was wearing it. So they crash, right? And so you're probably thinking to yourself at this point, what would make sense here? Would it make sense for the guy who is a superhero to save the person who is not a superhero, or would it make more sense for this 95-pound woman who is not a superhero to save the fucking Hulk from a car
calm down,
accident?
Ben Shapiro.
And so the answer is of what actually happened, of what would have made sense is the opposite from what actually did happen. So they have her pulling him out of the fucking car, the normal ass person with no superpowers whatsoever, pulling the Hulk out of a fucking car, and he's cut and she's cut, and his blood drips into her cut, and that's how she becomes She-Hulk.
That's
That's
great.
not completely inaccurate.
Oh my fucking
No,
god,
I
that
said
has to
not
be some of the
completely.
worst writing I have
See, okay.
seen in my entire life.
Can
Like,
I? Can I?
yes, please.
I believe I don't know the logistics of the accident, but she does get into an accident,
Yes.
and it is his blood,
Yes.
but it's a blood transfusion.
You know what's really funny about that? Because as I was watching that scene, I was like, you know what would have made a lot more sense? If they're in an accident and she gets like impaled with a metal rod or something and she's gonna bleed out, so he pulls her out of the car and then he's like, oh shit, she's about to bleed out, what do I do? Well, hospital's really far away, but you know what's not really far away? My offshore lab that we're gonna go to in 5 minutes anyway, so let me just carry her over there and she's gonna die, so I have to give her my blood and she becomes She-Hulk. Wouldn't that make a lot more sense? Wouldn't that be like infinitely better than what they actually did? Yes, yes, it would. If you're
Because
wondering, the
also,
answer
if
to
it's
this.
that easy, why doesn't the Hulk just turn everybody into a Hulk to get an army of super people? Then they'll never have to worry about Thanos type people again.
Well, I wouldn't say that for two reasons. One, because Thanos actually did beat Hulk in a fight, but number two is that
Yeah, but if he would he beat like 100 Hulks?
no. But the other, I think you could explain that away by the fact of you wouldn't want to give that power to just anybody. So you wouldn't
Yeah,
want to
but I'm
just like.
sure like give it to every Avenger, like Ant-Man. I think Paul
Yeah, but
Rudd
who
would be
knows
good
if
with
they'd
it.
be able to control it? That's the thing. Like, who knows if they
Paul
would.
Rudd's got plenty of control.
There's definitely a stronger case to be made for the why doesn't Iron Man just make a suit for everybody argument. Like that's a much more fact based argument, I think, in the world of superheroes than let's just turn everybody into the Hulk. But so and I know Sam's going to hate me for saying this, but I have to say it because this is the only logical explanation for why this happened and this change was made is that, oh, well, we can't have we're making a TV show about a strong independent woman. We can't have her be rescued by a man. So we
Hey,
have to
that's
have
not
her.
why.
We had that was, I swear to God, that had to be the logic
Yeah.
behind the writing, cuz other than that there is no logic behind this
Oh.
writing, Sam. It is nonsense writing. It makes no fucking sense. And you know what? I'm harping on this cuz it's the opening scene of the show, but this show for the
Okay,
whole
was
six
Bruce
ep-
Banner knocked out?
no, he was still conscious, and he was like trying to like he was like kind of sort of turning into the Hulk, but not really because of his dumbass device. And it's like, so, but I harp on this because this was the origin story of
Why
this
does he care if
character.
he turns into the Hulk though? Because isn't he in control anyway?
Unexplained, yeah, because he can control it because he's Professor Hulk. So who cares, right? So again, doesn't make any sense. So this is the origin of this character, and it is completely stupid. It is written not in any
Captain
grounded in
Marvel has a
any.
pretty dumb origin too. Wasn't she like in a jet engine exploded, then she became the jet engine, but it
Yeah,
was
but
like
there was like
powered by an
some.
Infinity Stone for some reason?
Yeah, but there was like some.
Like,
Yeah, I mean that was dumb, but there was some magical shit in there, so you can explain stuff with magic all the time. But this is worse because it's just this is the origin of the character in this show, and it's so
I don't know. Ant Man
obviously.
had a pretty dumb origin too. It's like I'm gonna set up this elaborate ruse to get this guy who's a thief to try and steal this suit from me, and I'm gonna send him to prison. But then after he gets out of prison, like what the hell? Like
Yes,
I don't
that
know.
that is dumb. Don't get me wrong, but we're not talking
That
about
might be
that.
that might be the dumbest setup for any origin story in the MCU.
Well, it's debatable. That is debatable. But this, we're not talking about that. We're talking about this, and this is just so stupid to me. Like that, and this is just
Now
one
you're just mad
example.
that she's
Like,
a woman.
no, not at all. I like She-Hulk. I like the character, and let me tell
Sam,
you,
isn't he mad that she's a woman?
let me
Too
tell you,
much.
not at all.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
let me tell you. Oh my God. Let me tell you. I
I'll
liked
tell you something,
the
buddy.
character of She-Hulk. I wanted to like this show very, very badly. And
You're
I
just trying to be
don't
She-Hulk.
hate, even despite that awful writing and that awful origin story, and despite the fact that every single week the writing on this show ranges from mediocre to god awful, I
You're
still watch
literally
it.
the only person I know that hates the show, eh?
I don't hate it. I don't even hate it. That's the thing, is that it's such a disappointment because it's so
Because there's a
obviously.
woman who's
Because
too strong for
no.
you.
Oh, I was disappointed that She-Hulk was a woman. Yes, that's what it is. It must be that,
You're
of course.
I
disappointed that
mean,
she
that
wasn't.
makes a lot of sense.
You're
Oh my
disappointed that she wasn't
fucking
saved by the
god.
man.
It would have made sense. What I
Yeah, because
want
there's no way a
is,
woman could save herself, or
for the
especially
love
someone
of
else.
God, look, if the shoe was on the other foot and Bruce Banner was not a superhero and Jennifer Walters was a superhero, I would be saying the exact same thing. It would
So you're
make.
saying it would be like if Happy Hogan and Tom Holland like flipped over in the car,
No,
and then
if
Happy
if
Hogan
if
saw.
Happy Hogan and Scarlet Witch flipped over in a car, yes, I would be ripping. If Happy Hogan pulled Scarlet Witch out of the car, I would be ripping that a new asshole too because it would make no fucking sense.
No, but
Just
didn't he
like,
do that with someone? He did that, didn't he?
No, he got
He was
blown
he was
up. He was in the
he was
hospital.
helpful. He was helpful at some point somewhere, I'm sure.
Not in a
Not by
fight, not
much.
like in an actual fucking fight. Like, yeah, he was.
They
He
weren't
picked.
fighting
He
anybody.
picked Spider-Man up in the jet after he got his ass kicked in Far From
Exactly.
Home.
There you go.
Yeah, but that wasn't him in a fight. Like, that was he picked up a wounded Spider-Man and stitched
When
him
did
up. That's
She-Hulk
different.
fight? When did the
At the
She-Hulk fight?
drones.
Yeah, that was in
He fought
fucking.
against some drones.
Yeah, he had to have fucking MJ kill the drone with the fucking thing,
Oh yes, that is true. That's
which is
another
whatever because
feminist
he's fat and old, so who
agenda.
cares?
Oh
It's
my
whatever.
god.
He is. I mean, I
It's
love.
part
Look, I love fucking. What's his name? I'm drawing a
Kevin
fucking.
Feige.
No, that's
No.
not Kevin Feige. That's Oh, I know his name.
He's
I'm.
literally the leader, or like the creator of the
I know. I'm
MCU.
drawing a
Yeah,
blank right
Kevin
now.
Feige.
That's not
No.
Kevin Feige. It's just tell me what it is, Sam. I don't waste time. It's.
Actually, his name just left my brain. Fuck.
Oh my God! It's.
I know, I
This is
know. Give
awful.
me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second.
It's Harold Hogan.
John
That's his
Favreau.
name.
You said what's that, Sam?
John Favreau.
Favreau, that's what it is. I totally had a fucking I'm so annoyed with the writing of She-Hulk that I had a total meltdown. But
Is he
um,
in that show?
no, he unfortunately. But my point is, every week
I
on
didn't even know who
She-Hulk,
he was. Every time I saw him, like, why does this fat guy keep showing up in these movies? I don't give a shit.
because he's a fucking genius writer is why. But my point is. My point is, every week I tune into She-Hulk, just hoping. And yes, the cameo from regular Hulk is cool. The Wong cameo is cool. The Daredevil cameo that we're going to get is cool. But like, at the end of the day, the cameos don't make the show. The show is its own thing, and the writing on this show, like I said, every week it ranges from mediocre to god awful. There's always like some underlying like social or political agenda or meaning behind like the writing. Like it's
Bernardus
just
doesn't like the fact that they're like, how
it's
dare they talk about
so
social issues? You
it's
would hate Star
just
Trek.
I mean, I don't like when entertainment is over politicized 100%. That's true. But oh my god. Look, but my
I
point
just want
is
to. It says something about how you consume media when you just want to turn your brain off and consume it like a zombie. Like I don't want any complex messages.
no, it's not that I don't want a complex message, but the most important thing about it is if you're going to do something, like you have to have it make sense within the story. You can't just like stick it in there so it's there and then expect everybody to be like, "Oh,
Listen,
yeah, this is
guys.
great."
Listen, guys. She-Hulk. She's supposed to be a strong and independent woman, but she's supposed to be a strong and independent woman in the way that I want her to be a strong and independent
Oh
woman,
my
not in the way that the
god.
writers want her to be.
No,
Right,
it's
Sam?
just bad, right? Like you guys
Right,
so
Sam? Right, Sam?
No,
look,
I'm not answering you.
you guys just watch the show and tell me if you think the writing is good because it's I don't think
You,
so. It's
like I
just
said, you're literally the only person I know that doesn't like that has complaints about this.
watch it, Sam. Just watch. Yeah, but you know
No,
a
I'm
bunch of you know
serious.
you know a bunch of woke Canadian snowflakes, so they're not going to have any issue with it. But
Yeah, they're
I
also
I am
Marvel freaks.
I am a real person in the real world who expects coherent storylines from my shows,
The real world, huh?
yes, and so the writing in this show is just not good. I've tried to like it. I want to like it. I want the show to be better. It's not. It feels like oh, and that's the other thing about the writing on this show. It feels like even so. Let me just tell you guys this. You think I'm being a dick or whatever? I've watched every single episode of this show with my girlfriend, who, by the way, thinks a lot different than
Well,
I
yeah,
do.
she lives with you. Of course, she's gonna start thinking like you.
Not at all, Sam. She thinks a lot differently than me about a lot of things. But let me tell you, we were watching this show, and she just at some point just turns to me and she goes, "Why does this show hate men so much?" And I'm just like, I don't have an answer for that. I really don't. But because that's the thing is like every single man character on this show is like a stereotype of a guy. Like you have like stereotypical like guy in a bar trying to pick up women. You have like stereotypical like douchebag with long hair skipping the record at the club. Like you have it's like stereotypical old guy boss in the law firm and it's just like has the writer of the show ever had a conversation with like a guy like anyone, because I kind of don't think so. The writing is just, and then it's just, the writing is so bad. It's just watch it, do yourself a favor, or a disfavor depending on how you look at it, and just watch it for yourself, and maybe you'll see what I'm talking about. I don't
I'm
know,
gonna write a
but
glowing review for She-Hulk.
yeah,
I haven't
the
seen it yet, but I'm just gonna be like, I can't wait to see the She-Hulk.
the
Hey,
writing
do you
is
think?
just
Do you think if in 1999 or 2000, whatever year China was popular, if that would have been the year that the MCU was taken off and they decided to make a She-Hulk movie, do you think they would have had China play the She-Hulk?
pre-porn, absolutely. Pre-porn,
Yeah, I'm saying when
post-porn.
she was at the when she was at the height of her popularity in like 99, 2000, whatever
Oh
year that
yeah,
was.
I think so. And she would have. I mean, I know I don't want to talk about what you want to talk about when related to this topic, but yeah, I think that would have worked out.
So
Um,
Sam, did you ever see the China porn where she was like having sex with Hawkeye when she was the She-Hulk?
Nope.
Yeah,
yeah,
it happened.
I haven't either, and I only know it exists because you've told me about it, and I don't want to think about it. And I knew you were gonna bring that up.
I don't remember.
Actually,
Oh, it's called what's it?
to be
That's the
completely
name of it. I
honest with
can't
you, I'm
remember it.
surprised that it took you this long to bring it up.
Dude, I can't remember the name of it. It was called Gamma Bomb. That was the name of it. Which is not like a good name for a porno.
No,
Because it
not
doesn't
at
even
all.
make you don't even know what it is.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I mean, is there a chance that maybe everything will work out when the season's over? Maybe, but like I don't see the writing changing. Like it just feels like the show was written by like some 16-year-old girl, like lesbian who just hates men, and and
Why she
it's
gotta be
not
a lesbian?
and it's not only just like stereotypical writing, but it's just incoherent. Like the plots just don't make sense. Like it's just watch it for yourself. It's just the writing is just really bad. I want to like it. I really do, but the writing is just bad. I'm sorry, but I know you guys haven't watched it. So do you guys have anything you want to say? As far as I know, Sam, you mentioned that you've heard good things about it.
That's
I've
something I
heard
want to say.
nothing but good things about it.
From
Okay,
you. I have something I want to say.
sure.
Obama.
All
There we
right,
go.
so we're done talking about that then. If that's unless you have a serious comment. Oh, the twerking thing. I guess I have to bring that up because it's on the thumbnail. Um, I guess my only thought about that is maybe if they hadn't spent so much money to get Megan the Stallion to twerk with She-Hulk, they probably would have had a decent budget for the CGI because that's just also god awful.
Twerking.
How she doesn't even, yes, She-Hulk twerked with Megan the Stallion on
Megan the Stallion.
whatever, I don't care, as a post-credit scene for one of the episodes for literally no reason, which is just like, again, incoherent
Dude,
I need to
stupidity.
are
bring
you
up that
kidding?
picture again.
What
What's that?
picture?
Do I need to show you that picture again?
Which picture?
You know. Here, I will show it to you.
What
Continue
picture,
your
Sam?
conversation.
I
Is it
don't
you
When done
twerking?
again.
it's
Yeah,
not
me twerking.
yes, it's because that has everything to do with what we're talking about right now.
Hold on. No, but it really does. In reality, like there's so many like stupid celebrity cameos and moments and shit that they do in so many movies nowadays because it's such a thing. Why do you
Yeah,
take
but
issue with that one?
because we're talking about this, like I don't think it's a good thing in any, like if there's just a celebrity, if there's if there's a stupid celebrity cameo that has no purpose behind it whatsoever, just to do something dumb, then yes, I take issue with
Every
it.
episode of The Simpsons after season 10.
Sure. Well, that's I coincidentally when Simpsons stopped being good, so right around that time. So, um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just it's
Listen,
just a,
Sam,
it's just a
I
disappointment to me because I really did want to like it and I wanted it to be good, and the writing just is killing it for me. Um, but yeah,
Sam, do you
it
think
is what it
Bernard is
is.
being overly dramatic about this?
Yep.
Well, thank you for that expert comment. I am trying to deliver my opinion as per what it was supposed to be. Oh yeah, that meme. I'm trying to give you my opinion on these things as to. I'm look. What did you just send it to him to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see.
I mean, I will disagree with you again because like
Wait, why was Zemo dancing? Or when
it
was
was
It was
really
Zemo
him
dancing?
stupid. It
talking to
was
the Winter
really
Soldier.
stupid. It was really stupid.
The Red
I
Blood.
so the reason this is wrong when it comes to me is because like the Hulk's ass thing I thought was awful, and the Zemo
I
dancing
love
thing.
the Hulk's
Yeah, I
ass.
know
What are you
you
talking
did.
about?
I hated the Hulk's ass thing. I thought that
Why
was
is Thor's ass not in here?
Because this was made
too.
before that.
How could it have been? Because
Yeah, because
Thor
She-Hulk
came
is
out before
newer than
She-Hulk.
Thor, so
Well, I
it's
think wasn't the twerking thing shown
it was supposed to be
before?
a
Dude,
dance.
Chris Hemsworth naked and it was in the trailer of the fucking whole Thor movie.
Yeah, it was. You're right. So I don't know why
I don't
that's
know.
not
Then
here.
I guess they realized. I guess they figured it wasn't. I don't know.
And before we end this podcast, we have a really serious note to end on. We have to end on.
Can you stop
So,
playing your
and
dumbass soundboard? And
no,
it's
it's
not.
more serious than that. Sam, why was I not invited to the cottage?
Oh, them. Well,
What's that?
actually, you do know two of them, but
Did you say go then?
All right, so with this whatever with this
I said
meme,
you don't know them.
that is true.
You don't know me.
Yeah, so with the Hulk's ass and the Zemo dancing were both fucking awful. So
I think we should have more
I
ass.
like, how many ass?
Ch-
Let's go through this. How many?
we don't
asses
need
have we
more
seen in the
ass
MCU?
in
We saw
Marvel.
Thor's,
I don't
we
think we
saw
need.
Thor's ass. We saw Hulk's ass. Whose other ass have we seen, Sam?
I don't know.
Thor,
Count
Thor
the
and
ass.
Hulk. You gotta count the ass. Did we see Captain America's ass? We saw America's ass, but we didn't see like his bare ass.
Thankfully,
We see Homelander's ass in The Boys.
yeah, we do. I don't want to, but we do. Uh,
There's inequality there. How come we don't see any female ass in Marvel, but we see male ass?
yeah, there you go. Well, anyway, so I don't know. I think that wraps up talking about that. So that brings us to everything that Marvel has done so far this year. So I will say
Hugh Jackman. You see Hugh Jackman's ass in one of the Wolverines.
Days Hues of Jackman's Past, where you see it in that.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Speaking of, actually, that's a good segue. So speaking of Hugh Jackman, we got some. The thing I want to end with on this is we got some pretty big news, obviously, regarding the future projects in Marvel, and that's we finally got a release date for Deadpool 3, and who will be reappearing as Wolverine in Deadpool 3? None other than the aforementioned.
Benoit.
No, he is a Wolverine, but not the kind that murders his whole family. So
He's the most rabid.
yes, so Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine in Deadpool 3. There's a
Now
shout
here's
out
the thing: do
that
you
on
think
my
he'll be
thumbnail.
more jacked or less jacked? And do you
Definitely
think he'll
less
take
jacked.
steroids?
Less
do you think
jacked.
we'll see his ass again?
I hope not, and less Jack because he's getting older.
Nah, I think he's gonna be more jacked because he's gonna up to steroids, and I think we're definitely gonna get at least one shirtless scene, and we may see his ass again.
Oh, definitely a shirtless scene, 100%. Ass no. Sam, what do you say?
I don't know. It's Deadpool. I wouldn't be surprised if we get Wolverine.
We
ass.
got ass. You know what? That's a good point. I'm hoping not because I don't
It's
need.
we see-
Ryan
whoa, whoa.
Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, the two of them together. It's gonna be.
Did we see? They're both Canadian, also, by the way. Wait, is Hugh? No, Hugh Jackman's
No.
Australian.
Yeah.
Wolverine, the character, is Canadian.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I was getting it confused. But I will say this: did we get to see Ryan Reynolds' ass in any of those movies?
Actually, no. I think we saw his ass in Green Lantern.
We got his. Nobody watched that, but we have to. I did see. You did get to see his baby CGI ass in Deadpool 2, but I don't think that counts.
That was rough.
Yeah, it was.
My brain will never unsee it.
What about Colossus? Is he gonna show up?
Yeah, you just see Colossus naked ass.
Yeah. Oh my god. Why is there so much
His shiny
ass?
metal ass.
Why is there so much? Where's all the girl ass, Sam?
Respect.
I mean, like you're respecting me because I'm saying that.
No.
What does that mean then? Because usually when people say that, like it would be like if I say, "Where's
People
the girl
are
ass?"
done ogling women.
So why can't we ogle women and men? I want
I
to see
mean,
Chris
I think
Hemsworth.
it's time the men get their,
Hmm.
get their turn to shine for a little bit, and then you can bring the boobs and the ass back.
I don't really care. I just want to see like Scarlett Johansson's ass.
Well, she's
You
dead.
know she's
so-
dead.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
but they could have you could see her ass in the flashback.
Yeah,
I
there
don't
you go.
think so.
Although if you actually want to see her ass, you should watch that movie Under the Skin because you do see her ass in that movie.
Interesting.
It's also weird. It's
All
not
right.
it's not like it's not tantalizing. It's just weird.
Fair enough. So yeah, that was pretty big news. Other pretty big news, is the last big thing that Marvel is doing in 2022 is Black Panther 2, which is actually I think we're only a little over a month away from that coming out, right? Because it's
Yeah.
like mid-November, yeah. And we just got the second trailer for that recently, which I told you I really wasn't looking forward to this movie that much from the first trailer, but after the second trailer, I actually am looking forward to it quite a bit because they show the reveal of none other
The
than
villain is.
no Namor.
Yeah, the Deep.
Yeah, the deep. They're bringing the deep in. Yes, finally. So,
Yeah.
which for those of you who don't know, I have to point out, Namor is Marvel's version of Aquaman. Although technically Aquaman is a copy of Namor because Namor existed first in the comics, and Namor was
Technically, they're both copies of the Deep because he's in real life.
yeah. There you go. And actually, Namor was Marvel's first superhero that they ever wrote back in I think it was either like 1939 or 1941 or something. So he was
Was he the Submariner?
yes, he was the Submariner.
Okay.
Yes, the very first Marvel superhero ever written. So I'm
Even
actually
before Captain America?
yes, he was, and so I'm actually pretty interested to see what they do with him. Even though I'm not like I don't care that much about the character, but I'm intrigued by it. And
Doesn't Namor have like some stupid like ability that's like I can't remember what it is. Let me look this up. He has
he
like
has
wings, but he can't fly. Or
Yeah.
no,
something.
he can fly, but he has wings on his ankles for
He has
some
ankle
reason.
wings.
That's what it is.
Yes.
Ankle wings. Yeah.
Yes, it's really that is really dumb, and that's like pretty much the only difference between him and
Maybe they're just gonna
Aquaman.
make it that he wears Air Jordans. That's how they'll make it. They'll retcon that.
They're in the trailer.
Yeah, they are in the
Uh,
trailer. His ankle wings are in the trailer. Which as soon as I saw like when they started showing the underwater stuff, I was like, no way, they're doing this now. And then I saw the ankle wings, and I was like, oh my god, it's fucking Namor. Like they're actually because I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but back right around I think it was 20 when did Age of Ultron come out? 2015, right? I think and Civil War was 2016, I want to say. Um, Back then when they were releasing like the Marvel movies that were upcoming, it was actually heavily rumored that one of the next movies they were going to do was going to be a Namor origin movie, and then it just like I don't know if you
No, it wasn't rumored. It was on the. It was on one of their phase
yes, it
announcements
was it
back.
was on one of the official schedules like back then. Did you remember seeing
Yeah.
that, Sam, or hearing about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then for some reason they just canned it, and then so now it's actually happening. So I'm very interested to see where they go with that. I also will say that I don't know who the guy is that they got to play him, but he looks pretty spot on to what you would expect. So he definitely looks the role. So I'm definitely interested to see where they go with that.
the
Um,
actor's name is Tenucha Huerta.
all right then. So but yeah, there's that, and then there's so I think the only other thing that's coming out this year is there's a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special that's
Oh,
coming
it's like
out.
a Star Wars holiday special.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it animated? I don't know if it's animated or not. It might be animated. I don't know. Do you know anything about this, Sam?
No.
Okay,
It
but
says the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special is going to come out in December 2022, and it's on the Disney Plus network, and it's an upcoming American television special. It doesn't say if it's live act.
gotcha.
It's intended to be the second uh, Marvel Studios special presentation. What does that mean?
I don't
The
even know.
Marvel
I have
Cinematic
no idea.
Universe. Where there's going to be another special called Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, I
Coming,
want to see that.
it's
What's
coming out in
that?
October. It's coming out in like 2 days. It's coming out October 7th.
Okay,
What the
yeah.
hell is that?
It says it's an upcoming American television special that's based on the Marvel character of the same name, Werewolf by Night. It
Never heard
follows
of
a
that.
secret group of monster hunters as they compete for a powerful relic while going up against a dangerous monster. And let's see who the characters are.
Oh, yeah, I've never
Uh,
heard of any of that.
It says they're going to have some guy as Werewolf by Night. That the character Elsa Bloodstone, Sanson Harris. I don't know who any of these characters are.
No,
Ulysses Bloodstone.
no idea.
I don't know who any of these. Man Thing, Swamp Creature, and Man Thing are also rumored to appear.
But no swamp ass thing.
Swamp Ass Thing. Is that a character?
From
So
Family
yeah,
Guy.
we got. That's the next thing. That's the next thing we got to watch is Werewolf. Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, it was just coming out. Actually, by the time that this gets posted on YouTube, it's probably going to be out already at that point, or definitely will
Let's
be out
do a
already at
live
that
stream of it.
Let's not. I'm out. That's not happening.
There.
Um,
There.
and then so yeah, there's that stuff, and then I think I was trying to think early next year. I know the Ant Man and the Wasp is coming out early next year. Quantum Mania, which I'm actually pretty greatly looking forward to.
Why?
Because it's supposed to be tie-in with Kang. So
And
I'm
Kodos.
no Kang the Conqueror. so,
Okay.
so I'm looking forward to that. And then there's Guardians Volume 3 is supposed to be coming out early next year too. I think.
Is Thor gonna be in that?
I don't think so, because that's probably why they parted. Why they had Guardians in the first bit of Love and Thunder, which we didn't even talk about. But their appearance there was like very cookie cutter Guardians, and then they just disappeared. I was like, all right.
I think it was so dumb because they made it look like Thor's with the Guardians now, but then the next time you see both of them, they're like, oh, well, see you later.
Yeah, that I was a little disappointed with that. I will say, because I was expecting like that to feed into like a bigger part of either Thor: Love and Thunder or Guardians Volume 3, but obviously it didn't. So that's a little disappointing, but it is what it is. They did bring back his friend, the chick who lost her arm from the first couple Thor movies. They brought her back in Love and Thunder, so she's there again. So yeah, that's
Gotcha.
that's something. Um, I did think, as a side note, I will say I think they did kind of make a mistake how like in Ragnarok and then in Infinity War, how they just like pretty much murdered all of Thor's posse basically. So it's just like if they were gonna do another Thor movie or like anything Thor centric, it's like they're all dead now. So it's like what
Except
the
for Lady Sif,
yeah, Lady Sif. Yeah, I always liked her.
Who's Lady Sif?
when I
His
lost her
the
arm.
yeah, the chick from she wasn't in the third one, that's right, but she was in the first two as the woman that was part of his group. His
Oh, right.
She
yeah.
wasn't in the second one either.
Was no, she was in the
Was
second
she?
one. Yeah.
I kind of blanked out the second one,
When
so
did she lose
Well,
her
that was a
arm?
bad movie, but she was definitely in
yeah.
that.
When did
She
she
lost
lose
her
her
arm
arm?
in Love and Thunder.
Hold
Yeah.
on. When did she lose it though?
Remember when
Wow.
when he comes up and she's like laying there and she doesn't have her arm and she's like Gore. She was trying to track Gore, and then he got the jump on her and cut her arm off.
I guess. But
And then they
why can't Black Panther just make her another one out of vibranium?
because he's dead, unfortunately.
No,
Rip.
but not in the movie.
Yes,
And
he
how are
is.
they gonna address? Did they even say how they're addressing Chadwick Boseman's
Well, he's
Black?
dead in the movie, so
They didn't
we'll
say
figure it
how
out.
they're addressing it, but they made it clear that in the recent trailer they were like showing like how they
They
had like a
mourn him.
bill. Yeah, they were kind of showing them mourning him, so it's not
Why couldn't they
clear.
just have Robert Downey Jr. play him and pretend nothing happened?
Oh my god. Yes, we all know what Tropic Thunder is, and we don't need to
Or,
go down that road again.
or better idea, they should have Namor like open up the seas and like consume him, and then they're all mad at Namor for that.
I mean, maybe that's what sparks the war between Atlantis and Wakanda.
It
Who
turns out
knows?
He was just looking for a hot piece of octopus to fuck.
No, he's not the deep.
The Deep is the only one who actually made good on the rumors
The
of
fucking fish rumor.
Aqua superhero fucking fish.
Yeah, he was the only
She's
one.
not a fish; she's a mollusk.
Yes, I get it. I get it. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is I want to say this and then we'll probably be done, is that I feel like this year has been a little rough because it's been really hit or miss with like content, which is not something that we're really used to with
Probably because
Marvel.
most of this stuff was filmed during the pandemic.
Yeah, that could have something to do with it. I think another
Yeah,
like
that is entirely possible.
the biggest thing for me, to be completely honest, is just the writing. Like even in the stuff that I liked, I have to notice that the writing is kind of going downhill a little bit, and I don't know why that is, but I definitely see it, and I don't. I wish they would just, because like the thing that we always talked about before with Marvel and why everything was so good is because they had the formula, right? They had the perfect blend of like comedy, action, storytelling, like tugging at your heartstrings, like feel good moments. Like they had the perfect formula down packed, and it seems like now with a lot of the newer projects, they're just kind of like discarding that almost, and they're like trying to do something different, which in a way I can appreciate, but at the same time it's like if the new thing that you're doing isn't working, which I think in a lot of these cases it's not working because it's twerking. You see what I did there?
There's just
You're
too
Um,
not
many.
funny.
There's
you
too
know.
many strong, independent women. That's Bernard's problem. He's like, I
Oh
can't
my
take
god!
women.
You know what? I will not be painted as some kind of like dick who doesn't like
I
women on
mean,
my own podcast.
I
Like, give
mean,
oh,
me a
you're
but
doing it
fucking break.
you'll
yourself.
happily do it on my stream.
Do what on
You're
your
doing it
stream?
yourself.
Hmm.
I'm not doing anything myself. I'm trying to give you
Speaking
my
of which, Sam,
objective
we're gonna give
opinion.
you the Felt Wild streaming schedule right now, exclusive. Sam's new Felt Wild new streaming schedule.
We're
Now
not
that he's
done. Shut up, damn
famous.
it.
What is
Oh
it?
my
What's the new streaming schedule?
Come on,
It's
go away, Johnny.
it's Saturday
I'm
through
giving you the
Thursday.
spotlight
It's Saturday
every
through
day.
Thursday, and then it's Saturday through Thursday random. That's what it is. But the point is, look, all I'm trying to do is give as objective of an opinion about product quality as I possibly can, and I can't help but notice that, like I said, even in the things that I do like, that I have enjoyed that they've come out with recently, I
But
have to
there's too many
say
women in
the
them.
oh my fucking god, no.
I'm just finishing your sentence for you.
Yeah, that's not what I was going to say, so you're not finishing my sentence. Is that product quality, or the quality of the writing specifically, and a lot of this stuff is just
It's
going
too feminine.
downhill. Oh my god. Why do I have you on? I don't know. Uh, but yeah, Sam, would you care to weigh in with any closing remarks? And by the way, if I hate women so much, why is Sam here? So take that. But
I don't know.
Sam,
I really don't.
but yes, so Sam, please, if you would give me your opinion and closing remarks. Is there anything that you're especially looking forward to in the next wave, or is there anything that you have particularly liked that they've come out with this year, or disliked, or what? Tell me.
I mean, I really liked Doctor Strange, but
Yes,
I don't really have much to say because I don't
yes,
have
I know
much
you
of
haven't
an
watched a
opinion
lot
for
of the
this year.
TV shows.
Sam doesn't have very deep thoughts.
Oh, shut. Oh, and I'm the one who doesn't like women when you're saying shit like that. You're a
Well,
jackass.
Hey, I
I
didn't say
mean, you're
anything
both
against women.
related.
I just said I didn't say anything against women, just against Sam.
All right, well, look.
Sam knows I'm kidding.
Regardless of all that, so is there any, Sam, let me ask you this, is there any particular project that we've talked about, or maybe one we haven't mentioned, that you were really looking forward to coming
Probably
out?
Black Panther,
The Black Panther. Okay. All right, fair enough.
and I want to see where they go with Scarlet Witch. So
Yeah, that's why I wish they would have like shown her, because I do actually like Elizabeth Olsen a lot, and I like the
Who
character a
doesn't?
lot. So I was hoping that they would give confirmation in the post credit that she wasn't dead, instead of Bruce Campbell just punching himself in the face over again.
I thought that was
It
great.
was funny. Don't get me wrong, it was funny, but I was hoping for confirmation of her life being
In
intact.
Well, I mean,
reality,
I think the biggest was her light, her magic. That was
Yeah.
in
the biggest
reality, if
thing.
you were punching yourself in the face for weeks, you would be dead.
Sure. So anyway, I'll
Even if it was a
pose.
very light punch, it would eventually the hemorrhaging would be too much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So I'll pose the same question to you. Is there anything that they've come out with this year that you particularly liked, and then what would you be looking forward to seeing the most in the future?
I probably like Doctor Strange the most out of what came out this year,
Yeah.
basically because it's the only thing I saw besides Thor. Uh,
Fair enough.
and I'm looking forward to the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special because I want to see if you can live up to the legacy left by Star Wars holiday special and other great holiday specials like How to Drain Your Dragon holiday special, and
What
I don't know if there's any and I don't know if there's any other ones.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you there.
Damn thoughts. The Hawkeye was a holiday special.
Hawkeye was good, actually. I enjoyed Hawkeye. Um,
Good old
that's
Flint Barton.
I think, yeah. I think they could have, but I did a whole podcast on that, so I don't need to
Hockey.
rehash that. But hockey, yeah. So, but yeah.
It's too bad they couldn't get Alan Alda to come back and play him one more time.
Isn't he dead?
Right.
Yeah, and if he wasn't dead, wouldn't he be like 100?
Well, he was
Oh,
in his
Alda?
last. Yeah,
Yeah.
his last movie he did was actually that Marriage Story movie with Scarlett Johansson and.
You guys know he's still alive, right?
Is he?
He's
I know. I
not. He
didn't.
died a couple of years ago.
All right, settle
He
it.
died. He
Fact
died
check.
like right after. He died literally like right after that movie came out.
Fact check.
Alan Alda. Google. Let's see. Alan Alda. Oh, he is still alive.
Oh shit!
I thought he died. Oh, dude.
How old is he?
OMG.
He's
LOL.
86.
OMG,
He's
LOL, Alan Alda
86.
thought he died.
Yeah.
There you go.
Dude, I was 100% sure he died. Maybe
Well,
he
you were
died in that
wrong.
movie. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
Maybe, I don't know. Well, good for him. He's still kicking.
He has
Oh,
Parkinson's.
that's a shame.
Oh, that's what it is. He's gonna
Yeah.
die.
Hmm. Well,
I
either way.
mean, yeah.
Well, we're all gonna die someday, you know. But
Yeah.
Dude, he's gonna be in Ray Donovan the movie coming out in 2022. Actually, it already came out.
I never heard of it. Um,
You never heard of
And
Ray Donovan?
no. Actually,
Marriage
you know
Story
what? I
is the
think
last movie he was in, though.
yeah, I think I did hear about it now that I think about it, but I didn't see it. But it's fine. But yeah, I don't know. I feel my thoughts are. I think definitely. I do think Doctor Strange was probably my favorite thing that came out this year too. Um, although I did really like Thor and I did really like Moon Knight as well. Um, but I think that they just even with that stuff, there's the writing is slipping, and that's all I'm gonna say. Is my thought is I'm really looking forward to
Less
probably
women, more men.
no, shut the fuck up. I'm really looking forward to the Ant-Man and the Wasp actually is probably my thing that I'm most looking forward to just cuz I really want to see the Kang tie-in after Loki. Um but yeah, so I think that they my opinion would be they just need to kind of like get back to what brought them to the dance as far as the writing is concerned with this stuff because like I know I'm not the only one. I know you guys think I'm the only one, but I'm not the only one who has been raising eyebrows over the decline in the quality of writing in Marvel over the last year. So I'm hoping that it's just a phase and that it kind of it irons itself out as they move on. But we'll see, I guess. But either way, I'm going to be there watching to find out, and I know you will too. So, um, but yeah, I think that'll do it. So thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, share the video, all that good stuff if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new videos in the future. I'd like to thank my guests, Jonny Reps and Feltz Wild, for joining me today to discuss all things current and Marvel. So thank you guys for that.
Mhm.
And
Proud of you, Sammy.
yes, I'd like to thank Feltz Wild more than Johnny because he just keeps playing soundboards. But yes, and I would also like to say on that note that you can watch Feltz Wild stream Fortnite at twitch.tv/Feltz FELTS _WILD Wild. And yeah, we'll all be over there when Feltz decides not to betray Johnny once more. We would all be over there playing, right, Sam?
You have betrayed me.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't.
Out of maliciousness.
That
Think
you mean
malicious.
maliciousness. So, yeah, there you go, and yeah.
So
So,
next time we will answer the question of how big is Batista's dick.
no, we won't. I don't want to talk about that.
Why is Gamora?
Yeah, we'll answer the question of why is Gamora in Guardians Volume 3 probably. So,
Ah. And what the
so
hell happened to the alternate universe Gamora?
nobody knows.
They're looking
She's
for her.
Yes.
she ran off.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's probably there. I mean, I'm sure she's going to be in the next Guardians movie. So, um,
You never know.
I think she will be. That's a pretty safe bet. So, anyway, so yeah, that'll do it. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.